You're tuned in to the Bro Files podcast.
Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a drop.
New episodes every week. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of the Bro Files. Man, we've got an awesome guest, David, with us here today. He's a good friend of ours. He has a whole lot of experience and a whole lot of knowledge and some things that we're going to talk about today.
Some of you guys will also know him as Officer D.
Yeah, he has a very big Facebook page.
Well, Kevin does. My part in it's small.
I don't know. I don't know if I believe that.
Someone had to create the persona.
All right.
So, David, how we like to run this, man, is whenever we come in, we talk about either a current event or whatever topic that we want to bring up that happened to us or something throughout the week that's nationally known, anything like that. And what we do is like we'll weigh in on it. But I think we nominated at the beginning to steer away from the current event and then kind of just maybe talk about the holidays. And we're going to do a little something interesting. I kind of threw Evan a curveball just now and said we were going to do it at the end, but I feel like it might just be better served to do it at the front since, man, we want to make this as much of this podcast as we can about David and everything with him. And so what we're going to do is we're going to continue our holiday theme, right? And last time, me and Evan, on episode 5 and 4, me and Evan has been having this little, not really a competition, but we've been trash talking each other about who's got the most Christmas trees up, this, that, and the third. Yeah, we've been having a holiday theme. So what we're going to do is Evan has been nice enough to nominate his wife for a phone call. But what we're going to do is each one of us are going to name 3 gifts that we would get our significant other, right? Wife, girlfriend, whatever you decide to be with. I mean,
I'm trapped already. So,
so we're gonna go with the top 3 things. Okay, so I'll start. I'm gonna say for Christmas gifts. Okay, jewelry. That's a kind of common thing for men to get women. I'm not gonna lie. I even looked at getting my wife a necklace with the kids' names in it.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Something different, you know, because I know she doesn't have anything like that. And that's kind of like, it means something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So jewelry, kind of like an all expense paid, what do they call that when they go and get like massages and makeovers? Spa day.
Spa day.
A spa day. All right. Or a paid dinner to a place of their choice. That's my 3. Evan, what do you think your wife would want?
Well,
for
she's very oriented. So
You better hope you hit on one of 3.
you're in trouble otherwise.
otherwise it's gonna be the doghouse, and you guys are gonna learn.
But we're also helping you out.
It's true.
Not wrong?
We'll see.
All right,
see.
go ahead.
All right. So my wife specifically would probably take, more leather for her leather working job.
Okay.
So we're going somewhere else with that.
Evan's into that.
I don't want no whips and chains. She'd probably take a spa day too. No, she
Okay.
probably would. Yeah.
Okay.
Knowing how stressed out she's been here recently, so let me think. What would be? You said a
A
3.
third. Yeah.
Third.
Give us a 3rd.
So-
You've got 2.
Damn, this one tough. Probably cooking ware. If it's
Cooking
not,
ware?
if it's not, in the art room doing her stuff.
Yeah.
It's cooking.
Experimenting.
She loves cooking. So
Does she like to experiment cook, or does she have recipes that she follows, or both? Or
she does both.
Yeah.
Some of her experiments actually turn out pretty good and hasn't killed me yet. So I'm still sitting here talking to y'all.
you hear that, Kelly?
Yeah, well, maybe. So we'll see. But some of her experiments turned out like real good. Some of them not so much.
You hear that too, don't you, Kelly?
Yeah. No, but she would agree with me though too, because there's been a couple of them that she's like, "Oh, I don't really like that." And I'll take a bite of it, and I was like,
Would that kind
I
of
agree.
"We can go to Chick-fil-A."
be like the test bird she sketched the other day?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Oh, I didn't see
Are you
that.
familiar? Are you ready?
No, I haven't seen this. All right.
Oh, yeah, my phone's over there trying to give me service. But she got this new embroidery machine.
Yeah.
And so she was kind of trying it out. Never ran an embroidery machine before. So she would use this program that she got a free 30-day trial on, sketched it out, and then sends it to the embroidery machine.
Oh.
Right. And
I don't like where
then
this is going.
It starts stitching it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This thing? Hold on a second.
It
I
look-
might actually have a picture of
Did
it.
it look like a bird with Down syndrome?
Wait, Zach,
Yes.
Zach, I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
you did.
I got
Somehow,
This is going to be good.
Either that or you showed me on your phone, which is
I
the bad part.
Oh.
You took a picture of it, and I'm pretty sure you sent it.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
There it is. Oh, yeah. There it is.
So, if you had described a bird to a person who had never seen one before, with very few adjectives, that's what that looks like.
That looks like you chat GPT to Robin eating a small child. That's what that looks like.
I'm gonna have nightmares about that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
welcome.
That will haunt my dreams tonight.
Kelly, I'm so sorry. Did not mean to make
Not
fun.
Kelly's fault. That's
ChatGPT.
Yeah,
ChatGPT all the way.
That was Chat GPT when it first started.
that's it. That's it.
That's the first round of AI before it updated.
Oh, that's probably what a bird looks like after it get hit by a Nissan Altima. That's probably about the closest. Wow.
Who's wheezing, man? Oh, God, dude.
Don't make fun of me. Shut up.
God bless. Like somebody's in an inhaler.
You're gonna be giggling about that at work tomorrow. Be like ultimate bird.
Oh, gosh.
All right, David, your turn.
Round 3.
So I think the theme is going to be kind of similar. So my wife's name is Ricky, and she runs a bread business where she makes sourdough breads and cookies and different kinds of stuff. So I would
Time out
always,
1 second. I do not mean to interrupt you. Your wife's name is Ricky.
Yes.
She does not happen to do ballet, does she?
No, she does not.
My kids, no lie, my daughter's ballet.
Yeah.
Not my son, my daughter's
I mean,
ballet.
you're in ballet too. You know, we're equal opportunity.
Hey, I'm not judging over here.
My daughter's ballet teacher
Yeah.
name is Ricky.
No kidding.
So when you said that, I was like,
Like, ooh. It's not a common name. No, I'm going to tell her that. She'll appreciate that.
so sorry, continue. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But yeah, so I would probably get her something that would help her with the bread making, like she's talked about, like a drying rack or something,
Yeah.
a cooling rack rather, something along those lines that she's been wanting for a while but hasn't really dropped any money on. The massage day or spa day that's going to be a winner
Man,
every time.
we're 3 for 3 on that.
Absolutely, knock that one out of the park.
We think.
And I think another one that she would like, if I can't do the spa day or it just won't work with her schedule, she recently got a newer job as a counselor. And this is her first time having an office that the children can't get in there and destroy things.
Yeah.
So some stuff for her office, like maybe
Nice.
like a nicer organizer for her desk, or something along those lines. Probably several of those things, but
That's solid.
get her something like that and get her office really squared away the way she likes it.
That's solid. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So the picks are in. Okay. I think the common theme is the spa day.
Yeah.
Okay. So the goal is hopefully a spa day will be in Kelly's top 3.
There you go. It's Family Feud style.
Yeah. Kind of interesting. Right? Are you ready? You ready to roll the dice?
I think I know how I'm going to end it, though, if it's not.
It's okay, no, hang up. I've got feedback. Oh,
Let's give her a call. Call her up.
Shit.
we need some music to play here, like when you're going to the firing squad. That's-
Hello.
Hey,
Hey, Boo Boo.
Hey, Kelly.
we're all here.
Hey.
So I'll let Zach do the
All right.
question here.
So look, the question is with no preface. Okay, this is totally your choice. What would be your top 3 gifts that you would want for Christmas? In order, 1, 2, 3, go.
Well, I already got my embroidery software. That was my top one.
Okay.
Told you it was art related. Sorry.
Art's my whole personality.
What?
We couldn't tell by the bird.
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
I've
so
never heard that.
take the embroidery thing out. Okay, give us 1, 2, and 3.
I would say the Lennox Spice Collection, the glass canisters.
Okay.
No idea what that is.
It's on my Christmas list. I would say a uranium glass spider.
What is that?
It's a
And-
spider that is made out of uranium glass, glows under UV light.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
from Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Mailed straight from Russia.
Actually, it's Ukraine.
Well,
Same thing.
depending on who drew the map.
Okay, number 3. I'm sorry.
I would say an embroidery thread holder. Because all of them are just in a cardboard box right now. But you might-
Struck out.
So, just to be certain, you don't want a spa day.
No, I'm not really into spa day.
Bruh. All 3 of us were saying spa day.
Oh no, we said it again. So
Turns out men really don't understand women.
no, not at all. So
Yeah, no.
well, Kelly, the object of this was we all, me, Evan, and we all went down the line and listed off what we would think would have been the top 3 gifts for our significant others. And, David, Evan, and I all had spa day in there. And, I guess
You don't want your feet touched.
No, not really. I mean, you can touch my feet.
Yikes. Okay.
Fail.
Yeah.
we failed.
No doghouse for me. No, it will be doghouse. That's okay because the top 3 that I chose was something art related, cooking related. What was the other one?
Spa day.
Spa day. That's right. Yeah.
We all picked spa day.
Cooking
So
related.
I was at
Well, I mean,
least
the
right with one
Spice,
thing.
the Spice Jar collection is kind of cooking related.
There you go. I got 2 or 3.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. man.
Yeah.
We're not giving you that.
All right.
All right, Kelly. We appreciate you answering and giving us your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Night, Kelly.
Be ready to get uploaded.
Great. Good night.
Bye. Oh, it sounded dirty.
Get ready to go. Oh God, yeah, no, that did sound pretty bad, didn't it?
That's why I was like,
Crop.
no, leave it. It's okay.
We don't edit the good stuff out.
That's exactly what we want.
This is content.
Give me more.
God. So far, so good. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, I'm kind of bummed that we didn't hit on the spa day. Not gonna lie. I mean, I thought that was
I thought it was a gimme.
kind of a
Just
shoe in there.
Just asking the wrong person.
Could be. Very well could be.
You're not the wrong person, Kelly. I'm sorry.
I mean, we only did one of 3 females that we could call, but I
That's
mean,
facts.
Mine's been passed out for an hour, so
lucky.
yeah.
Just kidding. Don't kill me.
Do it.
So
Do it.
now that we've got the holidays aside, David, tell us about yourself, man. Tell us about how you grew up, where you grew up, where you're from, things like that.
So I am from a tiny town called Sanford. It's not terribly far from here. Grew up there. A tiny, dangerous town.
I'm very sorry.
Yes, yeah. So the railroad tracks downtown and the Prince Downtown Motel, 4 blocks from the downtown motel. Yeah. That's where I grew up. So, and it used to be a lot nastier than it is now.
How did you make it out alive?
There were close calls. So there were multiple times when I was in elementary school when we had to run back inside waiting for the bus because there was a shootout or the police were chasing people through our yard. Like that happened several times. And I just thought that was how normal people grew up. I didn't realize that, oh no, that is actually a little bit different.
Never went to Cary, huh?
No, we did go to Cary. That was our hangout spot. Once we got licenses, we all went up there to hang out.
Don't blame you.
No, yeah, it was like I walked in and it was like, do you have to like stamp my passport when I get here? Like this is so different.
Show me your papers.
That's it, exactly. But yeah, I grew up there and got out pretty much as soon as I could. I didn't really know where I wanted to go to school, so I wound up doing the community college transfer thing, and then went to eventually made it to ECU, which was by far the best choice. So sorry, Mountaineers.
Hey, I'm supporting my wife, man.
There you go. But it was good fun down there. Got my criminal justice degree, and then got my first real full-time job was in law enforcement, and I've been doing that pretty much ever since. There was about a year there where I took a break and just did a bunch of different stuff. Dabbled in emergency management a little bit, did some social media marketing for a company, and sold some dirt water and root drinks to people, and that was good fun. And I couldn't not be in law enforcement, so I went back in and was just going to do it part time. And I had a boss that suckered me into a full time gig, and I'm back now. So
you can't let it go.
No, couldn't do it. It was, I guess, fall into the adrenaline junkie category sometimes. So.
Man, and I'm going to say it because I agree with you. That's what gets people hooked? In law enforcement. Honestly.
Absolutely.
I mean, everybody says, "Oh, I want to help people," but man, you get into that hairy situation that you're like, man, I really don't know how this is going to turn out for me. And then afterwards, when you've had your adrenaline dump and you sit there and think, you're like, I want to do it again.
And especially when, you've got, a suspect that was armed with some kind of weapon in a public area, and you throw the cuffs on them, and someone behind you is shouting "Great job" or clapping to some random citizen you've never met before. That's tough to beat that kind of stuff. So
let's back up. Let's go. Let's stay in your childhood for a little bit. Where did you go to middle school, high school? Community college?
So this is going to come as a shock to y'all who've spent some time in Sanford. It's very poor. So, but it's quite poor. So there was actually an individual school that was just kindergarten, and another one that was 1st and 2nd grade, another one that was 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then middle school finally was all at the same school. Right. So that was Wesley. Middle school. Yep. Okay. And then I went to, there was only one high school at the time in Sanford. And I think when I graduated, the incoming total enrollment was 2,900 students, which if you're familiar with Sanford, that's a big high school for that small a town. Now they split it up into 2 high schools. Right. And I was kind of a nerdy kid for sure. Mm-hmm. I actually got into theater and really enjoyed that. And I'm one of my only friends that actually got paid to do theater once I got to college. I got hired as a stage manager several times for some shows at ECU. Really enjoyed that. And I worked at Food Lion. That was my job all through high school and college. And I think my mom knew I was going to be a cop at that point. Dad did not like that plan, but mom knew because I would come home and talk about shoplifters that I caught and, stop people from stealing, large amounts of beer, steaks, cigarettes from the store. And I always enjoyed that because people don't understand, if you're stealing bread, tuna fish, and peanut butter, you're hungry. That's a totally different thing. If you're stealing beer, wine, and cigarettes, you're just a jerk. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
There's a line.
Yes. I have a lot of patience and time.
Or in Greenville, you're going to a party.
That's fair. that was wild. It was a lot of fun. When I got hired, the guy doing my background investigation pulled up my file and was like, "I see it says you never tried marijuana." It's like, "Yeah, it wasn't my thing. Dad had lung cancer. I didn't go near any of that." And he was like, "You're a damn liar." And what? He's flipping through my thing. It's, "Oh, you went to ECU. You just drank a lot." I'm like, little column A, little column B, or all the columns. But yeah, it was definitely different growing up there. And when I started in elementary school, we were dirt poor. I think our combined family income was like $20,000 a year, and that was everything. And then my dad started his own business as I was going through elementary school. And he threw himself into it. It was his third try, and that was the home run. Got up to the point where he was running, had 12 employees, a satellite location in Fort Payne, Alabama, and was actually selling knitting textile machines and parts all over the world. So some of his machines are in New Zealand. There's one I don't think they're supposed to know it's in Tibet because Beijing didn't sign off on that one. We'll just say that one legit got smuggled over the border from Nepal into Tibet to go work on this machine. It's like, I don't know if you should be doing that, Dad. That's a good way to get executed. That's it. You find out if China is committing war crimes or not. But he did really well with it, and then the knitting and textile industry finally collapsed, and that was kind of the end of it. He managed to keep it going with those cottage mills, and it was designed for someone they have a pack of alpaca. I don't know. Do you call it a pack? Was it a group of crows is a murder? Is that right? Or
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what you call alpacas. A cluster of alpacas. So you have a cluster of them, and it was designed, you just shear the wool right off them, put it into the front end of his machines, and then when it comes out the back, it's ready to be spun into a shirt.
No kidding.
Yep. And that was the whole design. It was he took what used to be, I think it was 14 machines, and simplified it down to 6 machines that would fit in a space not much bigger than this, and you had your own textile mill. So,
wow.
And that's how he was able to travel all over the world with that, because it was mostly smaller businesses that were in pretty poor areas that were trying to hey, we want to try to bring some manufacturing in.
Man, that's great.
Yeah.
So what kind of led you to go to East Carolina? Was there a specific reason, event, decision that kind of pointed you towards wanting to go to East Carolina over somewhere else?
Didn't have enough time to party in high school.
I did not party much in high school.
You wanted to get it out of your system.
That's fair. That's fair. ECU, I'd actually wished I'd gone there to begin with, because at the time they had a bachelor's in 3 and master's in 4 for criminal justice. Mm-hmm. Well, I kind of screwed the pooch on that one, and was looking around in their program. It was pretty highly rated, and it seemed to have good classes down there. One of the instructors was actually a former investigator for the SBI. He was, I think, handled all the homicides in the Eastern Division. Great dude, really, really knew his craft. And it also had a good reputation for several of the other schools down there in particular. Everyone likes to talk about Carolina as a nursing school, but the nursing school at ECU is a serious contender. They sometimes take the top spot from UNC. And I really wanted to be. It's like, this seems like a really fun place to go, and a place with a great community. I went to UNCG for a little bit, and it's a commuter school. Yeah. Nobody stays there on the weekends. No. Everybody goes home. Yeah. So I wanted to be somewhere that had that, that stronger spirit. And when you go to Greenville, if you've ever been there, literally everything in Greenville revolves around the school. If that school dies, that is the end of the city. Yep. There will be nothing left there.
East Carolina and Greenville is definitely a college town.
Yep. They are one and the same. I think it's even stronger than at App, honestly, as far as like App might still, or Boone might still exist without App, but without ECU, Greenville would fold.
No, you're 100% right. Yep. You're 100% right.
But yeah, that environment, you could go to pretty much any store or restaurant, had some kind of student discount. The student merch was down there. I was joking with one of my friends here about it.
UBE.
You go, if you're wearing, a Carolina or a Duke shirt, you went to Walmart to get it. But if you're wearing a Pirate shirt, you went to ECU to get it. So
absolutely, man, that's awesome. That's great. So you majored in criminal justice there.
Yep.
And you knew, man, kind of law enforcement was your 100%. That's what you were going to do.
Yep. I knew pretty early on. It was like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is the only goal. I toyed around with the idea of being a history teacher briefly because I love history. I
Yeah.
still minored in it, but law enforcement was always where my heart was.
Yeah.
And now, can't get out of it.
Damn right, you know your history. I guess my other question would be like, I didn't go to college. A lot of guys in the field that even I know didn't go to college
Yep.
before they actually went into law enforcement. What made you choose to go to get a college education before going in?
So I was the generation that if you didn't go to college, you were an idiot. And they really, I think because Sanford was so poor, they really pushed that. And that was a terrible lie. I used very, very little of my college education at this job. The vast majority of my schooling there was, well, why does crime occur, and kind of all these nebulous concepts. And it turns out crime occurs because people are assholes. Like that's,
Yeah.
I mean, there's socioeconomic factors, there's mental health and substance abuse issues that are in there, but a lot of it boils down to that guy's just kind of a jerk and he robs from people because that's the easiest way for him to make a living.
Yeah.
There's so many school of thoughts when it
Yes.
comes down to high crime areas and everything else. So, I mean, if you roll down, a neighborhood where it's got boarded up windows with, bars across them, chances are it's a high crime neighborhood.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, the broken windows theory of policing, they talked about that extensively. And there's certainly some truth to that. Like you don't see bars on the windows at the country club because they don't need them. They make sure to keep stuff immaculate there. So I went into it from that. I think as I've advanced in my career, it's helped me some being able to, it kind of gives you some different ideas for looking outside the box, I guess, is probably the best way I would know to describe it. And sometimes some of my coworkers will actually come to me and be like, hey, you can get that BS going pretty well and you can get this stuff approved. This is my idea. Can you, fluff it up and make
Yeah.
it look pretty and send it up? Absolutely. I
Yeah.
will do that all day long. Let
Yeah.
you put your name first. I'll put my name edited by down here at the bottom and send it.
And we've known you a long time, and
Yeah.
and I've always known, and Evan's always known. I mean, you are very well educated with things in law enforcement, but it didn't mean like you have really put forth a lot of time and effort into training and doing extra things to set you up where you're at, man.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. And what's your current rank?
I'm a lieutenant.
Yeah, great, man. That's awesome.
Fortunately, I'm still on the road. I'm not a desk lieutenant. I actually get to go out and work occasionally.
That's
so.
great.
That's a lot more than other agencies that I know that have moved sergeants to lieutenants.
Yeah.
Wah, wah.
What are I know you probably have a resume of certifications, but what are some of your favorite that have really led you to where you're at as a lieutenant? That you man that that you're proud of.
I would say probably the comprehensive roadside interdiction was my favorite class of all time. And I mean, Evan will tell you, I love guns, tactical classes. I will take any of that anywhere I can. Most of the people that I work with will consistently come to me if they have a tactics question or something like that. They're like, hey, how are we going to make this work? But that comprehensive roadside interdiction, it taught so much about the psychology of people who are breaking the law. And it really allows you to, I would say, I transitioned from, I used to stop cars because they were speeding or because their lights were out, and I just kind of see what happened when I got up there. I didn't really know what I was looking for. But after taking that class, I was trying to explain it to another officer earlier this week, actually. Now I see a car and the driver has a very strong reaction to the presence of law enforcement. Most people will see a police car on the side of the road, and they'll slow down a little bit, or what's that cop doing over there? They're curious, or sometimes they're nervous, but they're not overly so. But when you see that strong reaction that's just from the presence of law enforcement, then I start following that car. And now I'm like, okay, is this car speeding? Are there lights out? Is the registration up to date? Is the insurance up to date? What can I do to stop this car and figure out what's going on here? And I would definitely say, although like the number of my traffic stops have certainly dropped, the quality of what I'm getting out of them is much stronger. I'm getting a lot more people that are revoked and have warrants, a lot more people that are carrying drugs, they're carrying cash, weapons, stuff they know they're not supposed to have. It's related to crime. Stolen vehicles. They joke with me that at one point we had 40 officers, and a full quarter of the chases the department did for that year were initiated by me. So that one I'm like, yep, that's a good one. And some of the management classes actually have been huge. One of the one that I think has helped me a lot it's called Managing the Difficult Employee. And I took it because I was totally out of ideas with an employee I had that was, you know what I'm talking about, with an employee I had that was just great guy. I would have a beer with him right now. Terrible cop, just bad.
Just didn't know how to do the job.
Did not. Had more experience than me, actually, and still didn't know how to do the job. And it was so frustrating, and he had such potential, and I had no idea what to do with him. He probably still to this day hates me. And he insisted that I was picking on him. It's like, I'm not picking on you. I'm trying to make sure you don't get fired, sued, or get somebody killed. Like, I want to go home. My goal is to go home and you take over for me, and I sleep like a baby. My current shift, I tell them this. They'll probably never watch this, but if they do, I tell them this all the time.
Well, we hope they do.
I hope they do. I thank my lucky stars every day I wake up. I'm like, that's the shift I'm going in to work with. They're great people. A lot of them are newer. We're the youngest shift in the department, but they are very competent. They know their stuff. They are ready and willing to learn. And I can depend on each and every one of them. I don't worry at all. I worry, obviously, when one of them misses a radio status check or something, then I start worrying. But when I'm not working, I don't check my phone to see constantly what they're up to. I'll check and see what memes they've sent, but I'm not looking at what's going on during the day. I don't ever feel the need to log on to CAD and check and make sure they're okay there. I know they've got it covered. They're good. So that class helped me, I think, get to that point. And I would hope if you ask them, what do they like about working for David, that it's I don't micromanage them. I trust them to do their job, and I am there when they need help.
Yeah,
so,
that sounds nice.
A lot of times now with like supervision, I'm not saying,
Right.
I'm not calling nobody out, but it's just what we have seen in the past too. Especially at different agencies where their supervisors don't have their back. They are being micromanaged at every turn. And, if they mess up, they're hounded for it. You know what I mean? So I wish other supervisors would kind of take note, I guess, if you will.
Yep.
Stand behind their officers. If there's a problem, correct it. By the second or third time, obviously, you got to have a different conversation with them.
Yeah.
But I think it's just great. If we can just, copy and paste,
I'm not going to say I'm the best at anything, but
we've seen what we would like to consider the worst.
People ask, how's it going? I said, no one has put into transfer off my shift. People have put into transfer onto my shift, and none of my people are leaving. I'm not going to ask for a whole lot more than that. I don't care if they love me, hate me, but
that speaks for itself.
I hope that I am doing the job they expect me to do.
And I'm glad you kind of brought that up about, the class that you took and touching on being a leader. That's a big question from me that I have for you about being a working lieutenant, not a lieutenant that doesn't supervise anybody, but just sits and
reviews body camera footage, uses of forces, checking reports.
I wasn't gonna
5 miles round trip on their patrol cars.
12 years old and still has 20,000 miles.
Yeah.
Yes.
My question for you as a working lieutenant and what is your leadership style? How do you like to lead? And what is your expectation for yourself as a leader I know you kind of touched on that, man, but like I want to know what, like, as a patrol lieutenant, what your goal is as a leader with these guys, and how you like to kind of govern yourself to lead.
I would consider myself successful as a successful leader, if my people aren't getting called into the office to get chewed out by the bosses. I'm not getting called in to get chewed out by stuff. And when something is not clearly outlined by policy and they come up on it, they feel comfortable going with, well, hey, I think I'm doing right here, and there's nothing that says I can't do this. And I know if I do this, and as long as I am still doing it for the right reasons, my lieutenant will have my back. That is, they're not worried about that. That they're willing to either help somebody out extra, or the example the other night, we've got a nearby agency that frequently has staffing problems. Shocker.
For good reason.
I know. Yeah, exactly. They had 2 officers that were fighting somebody, and they stopped answering the radio. No one else on their channel had keyed up to go help them. No idea why. They're not my people, but yeah. So my officer had been scanning, and he was going that way. He called me on the radio, and he asked, "Hey, is it 10-4 to go help them?" Because it was pretty much at the edge of our extraterritorial jurisdiction. It was a little ways outside of town. And I said, "Oh yeah, 10-4, go ahead." And he said, "Okay, I'm 10-23," because it was John Cena. He was already there, but he knew that I was going to back him.
Right.
So he was like, I didn't even worry about it. I was like, just be careful if someone else is filling into the shift doing that. But I am glad that he feels comfortable enough that I'm doing the right thing, and I know Dee's going to back me, so I can just go.
Do you ever feel like there's times where you have to pull the reins back on some of your guys and kind of keep them in check?
I am, again, very, very fortunate. They will self-do that most of the time. Every once in a while, I'm going to remind him, hey, look, this is what admin's been hammering us on. I don't like this, and I know you don't like it.
Right.
But this is part of our tax for getting to have fun, is that we still have to complete these objectives. I would say I had a little bit of problems with that with one of them probably about 6 months ago. And actually, I was like, hey, I'm buying dinner. Come on, let's talk about this. And I was like, I want you to keep having fun. I want you to enjoy your job, and I want you to come here and be happy every day. So we still have to accomplish these basic functions. No problem since then. Everything was
That's
good.
great.
So I hope that's my influence.
I like how you did that. Honestly, I think that shows that you care. The fact that you took time to buy his dinner, to have a conversation. And I could about bet that half the conversation, or maybe a quarter of it, was really about work, and the rest of it was, you actually feeling like a person to them. I mean, because, sometimes, and being a slick sleeve, and you look at admin a certain way, and you're kind of scared to be around them, or you just kind of want to distance yourself because you feel like every time you're around them, you've got a microscope, an unwanted microscope up, and I feel like the way you handled that was very professional, and let them know that you're still, a person.
Yeah.
Which is great. I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there one story from your law enforcement career thus far that's just the cherry on top?
Leadership wise, or just in general? Leadership wise, or just
in general?
story?
Just in general.
The one that kept me from quitting. There's two. Well, I would say there's two, but we'll do the more serious one first. I was working the downtown area, and I was an eighth of a mile from a 911 hang up. At the time, we had just gone over to forcing 919 to dial that area code every time. We got 10, 15 911 hang up calls a shift. It was super common. Hardly ever anything came to it. I had a funny feeling about that one for some reason. The spidey senses were tingling, so I went ahead and hurried on up there. I stopped whatever I was doing. I think it was a grave, actually. I was getting a low tide, and I headed that way quick. I was like, something just didn't feel right about that. And then as I checked on scene, got another caller. We've got a woman that's naked in the neighbor's yard screaming for help. I'm like, oh, this is not good. And it wasn't good. It was muy mal. It was not good at all. She wound up, I talked to her first, and I said, look, I will provide a female officer for you if you would feel more comfortable talking to them. And she said, no, you came here when I needed help. You're very personable. Let's go. Let's get this going. And I hate to describe it this way, she was the perfect victim because she was able to describe the suspect the details were so good. We were able to pick out his boots 2 days later just from her description. No
That's
picture
great.
of it. It's like, that is our guy right there. And DNA later confirmed that was our guy. But she did everything that I asked her to do. It was like, hey, this is going to be not fun. This is going to be rough. In order for me to catch this guy, this is what we need. And she was like, let's go. She was ready to roll. And I felt guilty the whole time because I was an eighth of a mile away and I didn't hear her screaming for help and I wasn't there. And dispatch actually gave us the wrong direction to travel for the suspect, so he got away that night. And like, here I am, my job is to catch the bad guy, and we were all set up north and the bad guy ran south, and we were all upset about that. I think I wound up spending probably 8 hours with her that night, just getting the investigation rolling, set her up with crisis counselors, with the advocates, the whole 9 yards, everything I could. I used every resource I had available to me. And about 8 months later, I was just doing reports in front of one of the grocery stores, and this woman out of the blue walked up to me and said, do you remember me? I was like, no, ma'am, I don't. She said, you saved my life. I was like, I don't hear that every day. So what's this about? And she said, do you remember this call? So, yeah, I do. She was like, I was the victim. You talked me into, reaching out for help immediately, into starting this process. And now I'm 8 months post assault. I am in a good relationship. I feel good. My life is back on track. And I don't think I would be anywhere near where I am today if you weren't the one that responded. Mm-hmm. And that is why I signed up to begin with. Like, I tell somebody, every once in a while you get to be somebody's personal Superman. And that was what that felt like. And oh man, I was, thank you so much for telling me that. I had a good little cry in the parking lot there by myself. It was like, I didn't think I could affect someone's life that much, but there it was. And that's actually happened several times in my career. I've been very lucky. Every time that has happened was at a really low point in the career where I'm like, why am I putting this, this shield on every day? Why am I doing this? Because this is garbage. And then something like that happens. Like, oh yeah, that's why.
Man, I fully believe that God puts people in your life at a specific time for a very specific reason. And it seems like every time you've needed an answer, you've got it. And man, there's nothing more evident than that.
That's just as a simple reminder is why you do what you do.
Yes.
So,
yes.
That kind of answers my next question is that how do you, after so much time, keep yourself motivated to go do your job day in and day out?
The friend group is super important.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
like, I know Evans probably told you we have a little chat that it's just several other officers, an emergency manager. We jokingly call him a third responder. He's a firefighter and a telecommunicator, but he's good people.
Jack of two trades.
That's it.
Technically, his name's Jake.
Just throw him under the bus out here. No,
My bad.
he's good people.
Jake, I get it.
That's it.
Jake of all trades.
That's what you got to remember to tell firefighters. They may be second to the scene, but they're still first in our hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still wave at them with all fire.
That's absolutely that's the biggest difference between us and firefighters.
My question is do you feel like that you can't really open up to people that aren't in law enforcement about the things that you see and go through? Like, man, really the only people you can relate to are others that are in law enforcement that can, it's like being in the military.
Yep.
You
Jacob and I actually kind of talked at length about that. that he was in civilian life, one of his hardest things was finding a bond or in brotherhood like that. And when I was out of law enforcement, the people that I worked with were great people. I enjoyed talking to them, being around them, the parties with them, but there was never that feeling of, I know if I call him and say it is life or death and I need your help right now, he's coming, suited up, ready to roll. He'll get there and ask me who's the problem, and that'll be it. And it'll be it's very, very difficult to find that outside of law enforcement, that level of friendship, and it's, I don't want to say it's like joint suffering, but I know that he has been in those same situations, and that I can just tell him, like, hey, this is what happened, and he just understands.
Yeah.
And that is so hard to find in life now. I think I told you about it the other day. Someone asked me, it's always a terrible question to ask any first responder, what's the worst thing you've ever seen? I'm sure you get asked that probably once or twice a month at least.
100%, yep.
And I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and make him puke today. And it worked. They left, turning green. And Alicia texted me and was like, hey, can you maybe not tell stories like that? Because I think it's triggering some people. I'm like, I'm the one that stepped in the brain and had to like wipe it off my boot. And then I got thinking about that. I'm like, oh, that's fair. That probably is traumatic to some people. And the fact that it's not to me should also be a clue.
Like, if you don't want to know, don't ask.
Don't ask. I mean, you all have seen Hollywood movies.
Do you think it's sunshine and rainbows? Like,
no.
did you what did you expect to hear? You
It
know?
was. Yeah. It's. I don't know what their plan was,
Yeah.
but it worked out exactly the way I thought it would.
Yeah. So let's switch gears real quick before we head out, and let's touch on your Facebook page. What got that started, brother?
Oh, so I believe it was 2018 or 2019. I came into work one day, and the way our department worked at the time, I was the shift sergeant, and there was a corporal who was my assistant supervisor, and he worked straight nights, I worked straight days. That was how he wanted it. Worked out best with his kids. He had 5 kids. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. Like, whatever works best with that, man, because I think I was just had my first kid. He was like, "Hey, you got to see this. You're never going to believe this." And he showed me a video, and a drunk driver had crashed into a field, rolled his car several times, and of course he was so wasted he got out and was like, "I'm great. I'm not even scratched." Rolled the car like 5 times in a field. Wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
That's a clue.
Yeah.
It was the first clue. But it was just outside of town, so it was going to be somebody else's problem.
Right.
But my officers were just helping out. And they were in this field for 45 minutes with this guy waiting for another agency to respond. And trying to figure out what animal was in this field, because they went through a fence and they got, debris from the fences everywhere. Like, but I haven't seen any cows. I haven't stepped in any cow patties. What is out here? And as Tim is talking to the drunk guy, he is pointing his flashlight back at him, and on his body camera, you can't see anything yet, but he just says, "Whoa, oh my God," and jumps back. And the guy is so drunk, he turns around and says, "What is that? Is a turkey?" And the emu's head pops up over his shoulder, and he is mad. They have crashed into his house, and he is not happy about it. The drunk guy goes to try to pet the bird. That's as tall as him, by the way. Kevin is huge. And Tim drags him away. They get back out to the road, and Kevin kind of herds them out towards the road. The emu's name is actually Kevin. We checked with the owners; that's his name.
That's hilarious.
And I had kind of created a spot for myself at the PD where every Monday I told funny stories that happened to me during that. Me or my coworkers, usually mostly me, because I've had the best information on those. And I called it "Getting Things Sorted," and it was just 4 or 5 dumb things that happened to me over the week, and like. Hey, it's typically a bad idea to drink and drive, especially when you crash into the mayor's front yard. That stuff's going to happen to you. Or, hey, maybe it's not a great idea to go do a bunch of meth and think you're at a bank when you're being arrested. And ask me why I wasn't giving him his debit card back at the Intox instrument. So that was entertaining. But I posted stuff like that. Mostly the people of the town seemed to really enjoy it. The Facebook page went from I think it was 2,500 followers when I started to over 12,000 when I left. So it was pretty good growth. I was happy with that.
So clearly a lot more people than that actually lived in that
There
small
were
town.
only 5,000 people in that town. So
A significant amount.
yes.
Yeah.
So the farthest fan was in Guam. She was a rescue diver out there. She told me she would marry me sight unseen.
Wow.
I was like, well, I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to delete that because I don't want to get murdered.
Talk about commitment.
She was ready to go. Very nice lady. She's a nice lady. my wife probably killed her. No, just kidding.
Stuff in the trunk still somewhere.
That's it, exactly.
That's why she bought that plane ticket. It all makes sense. It was,
That's it. Oh man, but no. I wrote a funny story about Kevin, and two of the 5 points of that post were, Kevin doesn't like it when you crash into his house, and he was trespassing. Took a picture of Kevin and posted it. I think it was a still from the body cam. We could still do that at that time, and it just exploded.
Yeah.
Weeks later, people were asking, "Is Kevin okay? Does he have PTSD? Does he need donations to rebuild his whatever emu house it is?"
You're
And,
kidding me.
no. I was like, I've got to capitalize on this. So I bought a stuffed emu off of Amazon.
Temu.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And back then, Temu didn't even exist yet, so it was actually he was not cheap. But I was like, I got to capitalize on this, and I'll use my petty cash. And Kevin rode around with me everywhere, and we took pictures with kids whenever they would say, hey, is Kevin here? And it actually got to the point where some of the other officers were getting annoyed because they would stop a car and like, hey, I just stopped you for doing 60 and a 35. And they're like, yeah, is Kevin here?
No way.
I'm serious. The driver didn't even care. They're like, no, I want to meet Kevin. I'm like, that's not how
Wow.
you do that, but we can find ways that don't also involve a court date, but we'll try. So it just became a thing in the area. And then Kevin got kidnapped one day. A very drunk lady, she was nice, but she was very drunk, came up and grabbed Kevin and was like, can I take him to meet the mayor? And I'm like, I knew,
what?
I didn't know the lady, but I knew all her friends, like they were people with the business association in town. Yeah, she's probably safe, little drunk, just don't molest him. Here you go. So she went and got pictures with the mayor, with a guy that actually did PBS woodworking episodes. He was famous for it. A bunch of other local celebrities and different county commissioners and town commissioners. And then she came back and was like, I'm having such a great time with Kevin. Can I hang on to him for a little longer? And I was going to be there for 4 more hours. We were packing up barricades and stuff all night. And I was also one of the people that helped out with emergency management for the town. I'm like, yeah, it's sure. Just bring him back here. And then she went home. And I was like, oh, she has kidnapped Kevin now. So I had to send her a message through her friend, like, yeah, you do need to return Kevin. And she was like, oh, I thought he belonged to the department. No, he's mine. They gave me a budget of $0 for this. So
And then you still thought you were
he's-
going to take
yeah.
something that belongs to a police department.
Exactly.
To your
So
house.
this is a good plan. It's like, no, you need to bring him back.
Larceny of town
So-
property.
Absolutely. So she brought him back with a box of a dozen donuts from the bakery in town.
Real freaking funny lady.
Yeah, exactly. She did remember the gift card for coffee, and I was like, all right, we don't have to put her in jail forever now. That's it, though. Right to jail, straight to jail.
Right away.
But I didn't tell anybody Kevin was back because I'm like, we can use this. There was a child that was his dad was a trooper and his mother was a captain at a police department west of here. And I decided, hey, it would be nice if we could raise some money for this charity. So I told everyone that Kevin had been kidnapped and that we needed to raise a ransom, and the ransom would be donated to this charity. And we raised, I think it was somewhere to the tune of $3,500. It was the largest single contributor by far to their fund. And the police department actually sent several people down from their command staff, and a couple of troopers came down from the area and met with us, and we gave the check to them, took a bunch of pictures, and it was everybody felt good about it. It was great. I believe Warrior Jace was the kid. I don't know if you remember that. You were probably just starting when that happened.
I started 17.
Okay, yeah. So you'd been on for a couple years when that happened. But I kept in contact with the family. It just hey, if we can do anything else, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
And Kevin kind of took on a life of his own then. And when I wound up leaving that department, Kevin went with me. There was even a little video made where he went. And I remember the worst leader that I've ever worked for, ever by a long shot. asked me, like, aren't you going to leave Kevin? I said, no, I paid for him. You gave me a budget of $0. In fact, when I asked for money, you told me in a not too impolite way to pound sand. So yeah, all the cameras, everything I bought is coming with me. I'm not leaving any of this for you. I thought that would be self-explanatory, but
Right.
He was a unique individual. I'll say that. He really liked Cheerwine.
It was that. I guess that was a hint, right?
Yeah, I got it. Subtle. Worst leader by a long shot that I've ever worked for, and that's going up against some fairly stiff competition.
Right.
But yeah, and Kevin went to another department with me, and that page's social media feed grew by 300%. And now I was like, I can't move Kevin again. And the current place I worked for, I'm trying to remember what their words for it was. It wasn't no, but hell no. It was somewhere. I think the polite term they used was Kevin is not in keeping with our social media strategy moving forward. So I started my own page, Kevin and OD. And that's on Facebook, Instagram, and I have a Twitter that I don't pay much attention to, but or I guess the X now. I don't know what you call that. And I'm just kind of slowly building back. I've got some stickers. Don't have much else in the way of merch right now, but it's on the to-do list. But yeah, if you want a Kevin sticker,
we've got a profile sticker for you for coming on the show.
Oh, yes. All right. I'll put that.
Grab that for you.
Put that next to Kevin. I got to sneak it into my patrol car without my captains noticing, because that's. I just got to put there's another sticker I can put right next to it that'll cover it up. It'll be very bright and multicolored, and they won't even notice.
I want to say the funniest video that you did make with Kevin inside the vehicle was there was a series of vehicle break-ins going around town, and you did a video where it shows like Kevin's about to demonstrate on how you lock your vehicles. And then it does like, all right, go ahead, take it away, Kevin. It's like cut screen.
Yep.
Goes to like this stuffed 3-talon paw hitting the lock button. And then it goes back to you, and you're like, yep, there you have it.
It shows the door lock, and then right back to me. There we go. Look at that.
All good.
That one did pretty well. I did several of those short videos, the problem is, like we talked about earlier, I have the face of a radio star, so I really need to go back to those videos and figure out a way to get it mostly on Kevin and not have my ugly mug on there. Because as soon as I hit the screen, views go. But Kevin hits the screen, it's right back up. It's like having a canine on there. You put a canine on there, line go up.
It was genius golden content.
Yeah, I'll have to if I make a return visit, I'll have to bring Kevin.
Absolutely.
He unfortunately would not get out of the car. It was so cold tonight that he's can't do anything.
We'd love
with
to
him.
have
Tomorrow's
Kevin.
gonna be
There we
wild.
go. Yeah, I'm not looking
wild.
forward to tomorrow. Oh,
Well, David, brother, we appreciate you coming out, taking the time, and being with us, man. We really
gentlemen, it was
appreciate
great, and I hope we talked about some stuff that'll help some people. So.
Absolutely. That's been the common thing, man. You hit on it. You hit the nail on the head. The theme that we've had before is things that could help somebody, whether it be as a father or a parent, or just in life in general. Somebody that we've had on has had a story and something to offer. Man, you definitely gave that. Between your upbringing and your leadership and everything, and your role and what you have to offer, man, it was a wealth of knowledge, and we appreciate you taking the time, sharing some of that with us, and being here.
Thank you.
Guys, if you would, please go follow us on all the social medias, and Evan is going to tell you how to support our podcast here.
100%. Just make sure you do like, subscribe, share, comment, do what you got to do, share it with your friends. And also, if you're on Facebook, go follow Officer D on Facebook. He still pushes out regular content, which is, really interesting to either read or watch.
Need to get the videos back.
But, entertainment, it's all entertaining. So,
Yep. You'll catch the Profiles on YouTube, podcast, Spotify, TikTok, X, Instagram, and Facebook.
yeah, we got them all. Got them all now.
Officer D is on.
Primarily on Facebook, X, and Instagram.
Great. Awesome. There it is, guys. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Thanks for hanging with us on the Profiles podcast. If you had a good time, make sure you smash that like button, share it with your crew, and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'll catch you next time.